Hello, everybody. I'm Riley Davis, and with me, as always, is my amazing, hardworking, likable, polite, sincere, amazing, awesome, excellent, fabulous, gorgeous, unique, outstanding,
Whoa,
perfect,
buddy. I
and
got a
also,
girlfriend.
I'm just reading a list, okay?
Whoa,
And
call me gorgeous?
also, it was on the list. I'm stressing. I just gotta get all these as many adjectives as possible,
Uh-huh.
but also depressed
Yep.
co-host
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Cohen.
Hello. Oh, use my full government name.
Oh, I did. Nate Cohen.
Hello.
I gotta drop a middle in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. How's it going?
Hi.
This is the first Red Zone podcast to ever be uploaded on YouTube with video.
Yeah. Which means that you can see me struggling to try to read off the list and try to get as many adjectives in there as possible because
And
it's
you can see
just a
our
list on the
facial
internet.
expressions.
Yeah.
And when I drink water.
Whoa.
I
We
drink
do drink
water for
water,
the audio
guys.
listeners.
We drink water to make sure that we don't sound horrendous halfway through and like
Stay
choke.
hydrated. So
Drink water,
nothing
guys.
happened in college football this week, huh?
Sure. You can say
Alabama
that.
beat Alabama beat Vandy.
Absolutely
Indiana.
not.
No,
We're
they
not
did.
gonna.
They
Nope.
did. Uh-huh.
Absolutely not.
No, we don't need to
Alabama
talk about it.
lost.
Well,
To those who don't
thank you
know,
everyone for listening to the Red Zone podcast. My name's been Nate Cohen. I've always been joined by Riley Davis, and we'll see you next week.
no.
Damn
Um. Yeah, that was pretty eventful. I would just like to read the text that I got when I asked, "Are y'all okay?" When I saw that Bama was losing, and Nate said, "Yeah, Vandy had a fluky pick six. We'll be fine." Um,
it. At the time,
and
that
that
was
didn't
the
happen.
right take. I'm glad you didn't read any of the other texts I sent you after the game was done, because we
Nate was
cannot put
very
that on
mean to
air.
me. He was very mean to me after I said we want to revisit the we're fine.
Well,
We'll
because
be
you were
fine.
trash talking me after your team got pimp slapped by Ole Miss.
I didn't. I said, "Are we going to revisit this?" And you just
That's trash
said
talk.
some mean things. I mean, I'll talk about us later.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, I was like, what is going on?
This is awesome. I love this first edition of the Red Zone on video where nothing. Oh God, uh, talk for like 20 seconds.
About what? Okay.
Talk about like pie or
Pie.
the
Why is
political
pie our
state of the
go-to?
U.S.
The political and economic state of the world right
I'm
now.
back.
Um, what? Okay.
My AirPods randomly cut out, and I was like, "Oh God!" But now they're back.
Oh, so you can hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Um, do we want to get in? There's not a lot of news.
I
Vandy got
mean,
fined, and someone else.
and so did
Who else got
Arkansas
fined?
for beating
Vandy and
Tennessee.
Arkansas for storming the field and carrying away their field goal and dumping it into the river.
Nope. Game. Oh, in the Arkansas game, yeah. Yeah. Not Vandy. Anyway, Notre Dame's sack leader Boubacar Traore is out for the season, which is a pretty bad hit for them, given that he's been really good on their defense this year. Quinn Ewers is going to be back, ready to start against Oklahoma. I assume he probably will start. Shiloh Sanders is ready to go to return against Kansas State, back from arm surgery. And the big news of this week, which is really bad, is Georgia wide receiver Colby Young was arrested on charges of battery and assault earlier Tuesday morning for assaulting his significant other and her unborn baby. Real culture problem Georgia got going on there.
I mean, also, that's just terrible news in
Yeah.
itself.
Best wishes to
Good Lord.
the victim. I hope that's a pretty awful thing to go through. I hope he never touches a football field again and
Yeah.
goes and has more, negative consequences for this. But he won't because, you know,
He got out on
World,
bail
the world,
already,
the
so
world is not a fair place.
nope. But he doesn't
Um,
deserve to play football ever again. So
he does not deserve
hope
to
that
play
he
football ever
doesn't.
again. He deserves to be in a jail cell is what he deserves to be. But,
Absolutely. Um,
life isn't fair.
that's probably not what's gonna happen. It's not what is happening. He's bailed out, but
Yeah, he's gonna probably play again this season, isn't he?
pretty terrible,
Kirby
probably.
Smart's gonna be like, yeah, this is really bad for the program, sensitive issue, don't want to talk about it. He'll be back by like week 8.
Yeah.
Um, anyway,
Terrible news.
yeah, let's move on to the rankings. So it was a pretty slow news week this week. Other than that, um, the rankings this week, they could have just put any team in any position and it would have been fine. This is like the most just like you can't complain about what the AP poll voters do for this week because no one who's good. There's two teams. There's legitimately two teams that I think are good, and then everyone else is like up in the air.
That's nice.
It is. I think it's Ohio State and Texas that are the actual contenders, and then it's everyone else.
You don't
And
think
then if
they're
Ohio State
okay? I was
loses to
about to say, never
Oregon,
mind.
I'm gonna. If Ohio State loses to Oregon, I'm gonna be at that point. Just I'm
What's
throwing my
going
hands in
on?
the air.
I
I will
give
give
up.
up.
We can't have any more hot take. We okay, maybe not. We just can't like say anything else because every take we've had on this podcast this season has been so wrong.
This has been a bad season for the Red Zone podcast when it comes to takes of ours aging really poorly.
When it comes to continuity and like the quality of the football, it's been great.
This has been our
However,
best continuity, the most amount of
yep,
episodes we've done in a row, the best audio it's ever
yeah,
sounded. We're expanding to, by the way, we're expanding to YouTube. We're expanding to Apple Podcasts, which whole season 1 is on Apple Podcasts right now. Season 2 is not because I need to change the audio files because Zoom puts it into an audio file that Apple Podcast doesn't support. So I will do that eventually. And Instagram, we got that. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to
we're
subscribe to our
gonna be
YouTube channel.
posting more on the Instagram.
We will. Riley will be because I can't get into the Instagram for some reason. Um,
We'll fix it
we'll fix it. And Riley will be posting reels, funny moments from the episode.
because now
Um,
we have visual components to them,
we can
so it
have
works out.
visual gags.
We can. Eventually, we'll get a nice setup. I'm just in a dorm room right now,
I'm
but
also in a dorm
eventually,
room, but at least my bed's made.
you got like a flag in the back.
I do have the Indiana flag signed
Yeah,
by all my friends from home. You're on this flag.
I am on that flag. I don't know where. I don't remember where I signed
And then I
it.
have a Atlanta United flag signed by Joseph Martinez
Let's go.
and a Aussie Rules Football League flag for the North Melbourne Kangaroos.
This isn't my side of the room. My side of the room is behind the camera. So,
Which we can't show.
yep. I'm not gonna pick up my
Dang.
computer.
I'm on a desktop, so if I picked up my computer, things would go horribly wrong. I would probably explode.
Oh, that's a bit
The
dramatic.
cable wiring in my room is one spark away from blowing this thing to smithereens.
That's that's safe.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm fine. Anyway, to the rankings. Um, big movers, everyone. I don't know. There was like if a team moved up in
I
the
think
rankings this week, it was by like 5 or 6 space places.
the only
Like,
people who didn't move a bunch, like Georgia and LSU didn't move at all, and then Texas and Ohio State each moved up one.
but
So,
can we talk about can we talk about Indiana going up
sure.
5 spots, tied for 18th in the rankings, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're winning the national championship. We're winning. Curtis Rourke is the greatest player on earth. Kurt Signetti, I will run through a damn wall for that man. Justice Ellison is the best running back aside from Ashton Genty in the country. Elijah Surratt, I think is how you say his name, is God. Our defense is balling out. Aiden Fisher is good at football.
Alabama moves
Anyway,
down 6 after
no, way to ruin my mood.
that was the next big mover on the I mean, I guess Oregon and Penn State both moved up 3, but Alabama moved down 6 after
You know who
after
didn't
why?
deserve you know who didn't deserve to be placed 2 spots higher? Miami. Miami is two bad ref calls away from essentially being 4-2.
Twice in a row. Um, yeah. I haven't watched a
They
bunch of the
got they
Miami
got
games
bailed
this
out in that Cal game.
in the Cal game.
I
I
mean,
just
I
remember
wouldn't
seeing the
blame
end
you.
of that. I mean, I haven't been. I have to watch my own games because I'm there the whole time.
I also wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch the Cal Miami game because it ended at like 2 a.m.
Ugh,
An ACC conference game ended at 2 a.m.
shame. Um, let's see. Next big mover, Tennessee. After losing, um, and then they moved down four after losing against Arkansas.
Can I just
Um,
say, at least they
yes,
lost too, and so did Auburn. Even if Auburn lost to
that
Georgia.
sweetens the deal for you.
Okay, you want to hear
I'm
my
not
hot
gonna
take?
lie. What is it? How hot?
It's like like 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So I think Georgia should have dropped, and I think Alabama should be six. Okay, Alabama should be five. Georgia should be six. Miami should be seven. Because yes, I
You
know we
think
lost to
Georgia should have
Vandy,
dropped?
but or fine, put Georgia at put put Miami at five. It's undeserved, but fine, they're undefeated. Put Georgia at seven and put Bama at six. Because Georgia looked really bad against Auburn, despite the fact that they won by like 20 points.
I was about to say, like their end score looks fine.
But also, we beat them.
Yeah,
So we
but
should be
then
ahead of them in the
after beating
standings.
them, they put you in the number one spot in the country, and then you lost to Vandy.
Shut up. We still beat Georgia 2 weeks ago. Weren't we literally on this
Speaking of,
podcast? Weren't we on this podcast last week talking about how Alabama Georgia was like a game of the year and Alabama beat Georgia in that game of the year? You know what's crazy? We simultaneously have the best win in college football right now and the worst loss in college football right now.
I was about to say, like, because that's a back-to-back weeks that you went like on top of the world. That was crazy. Oh my God, to oh my God, what did you just do?
We still have the best win in college football right now. And
But also,
it'll change this week because I think whoever wins Ohio State, Oregon probably is going to have the best win of the year. But like still, we went from the highest high to the lowest low. And that was me this week. I had both the highest high and the lowest low.
I
Um,
I didn't really have a great week. Um,
I don't feel
and
bad for
also
you.
going back to like rankings being stupid. Vanderbilt has received a people votes for being ranked.
They got
So
26 votes.
yeah.
I mean, okay.
And Arkansas got 17.
Okay, this is going to seem like coping, and it kind of is. But didn't I come on the podcast last week and say that Vandy was a better team than people gave them credit for, and that Diego Pavio was really good, and that yeah, Bama would win easily, but it would be still be a trap game.
But you didn't.
But wasn't I still right at that point?
For part of it, yeah. What did your
I
dad
would
say? I want to know what your dad thought about the game.
hold on.
I
My
want to know
dad.
his thoughts.
So my
Can
dad,
we
as
call
we
him in?
know, we cannot call him in. He's teaching.
Oh, never mind.
Actually, he's not
Let him do
teaching
his
now,
job.
but he's tired. Okay, so my dad said, um, I'm sure he's fine with me reading this. He just said, "Yeah, that's game. It happens to everyone." He said, "It happens to everyone else, but just not us."
But it did
Said
happen.
he said, "It'll be okay. I think we might be getting into the decline slash everyone storming the field against us part of the timeline." So my dad handled the loss fine. He is. I don't think he. My dad's at the point where he doesn't really like. He obviously wants Alabama to win a lot, but he's seen them win so much in his life that he's like just taking all of it for. He's taking it as it comes.
I think your dad is like one of the most, I want to say like dignified college football fans out there. Cause he's like, he has his takes, but then like they're very civil and like well thought out. I don't know.
I was listening
That's
back
my,
to that podcast that we did with him, and like the two of us will say a point, and then my dad will just say it, but better.
yeah, absolutely.
Like he would say it, but like
He's more
better worded.
dignified.
Yeah, more dignified. And he's also just like, I mean, not to like put over my dad here, um, but like I don't know. He he's who I want to be as a fan, to the point where it's like I really like the wins, but the losses don't affect me as much.
I wish. I
I
we have a
wish.
terrible
I
loss.
was
That's
so
my week.
depressed after the Vandy game, and I was with like a group of like 15 people who were all really happy because IU made a bowl game, but then Bama lost, and I just sat there, my head in my hands.
I mean, obviously I was with the band, but like we were all like, this is just bad.
Yeah, I
It was
bet you
bad.
were. Anyway, the big droppers, other than Bama, were Missouri after one of the most pathetic, embarrassing performances I've seen a team have since Alabama 4 hours after them. Um, and Michigan dropping 14 spots after losing
And
to
in res
Washington. I told you so. I told you they were frauds. I told you they were just Iowa with a slightly better offense. And I was right. They played a decent team and they got exposed. What was that? Why did you just go like,
That's me. Like, okay.
oh, that wasn't
Um,
directed at you. That was directed at the world. No, because you
um,
agreed with me. I think that I need to stop saying I told you so, because then that means I'm like, it acts like I'm talking to you. But whenever I say I
I
told you so,
told
it's just to like the
everyone so.
universe. I told the universe so.
You should just say I said so.
I said so. There we go.
It doesn't
I
hit as
said
hard
so.
though.
Yeah, I know. See, when I go like I said so, it just sounds like I'm some like geeky like 12-year-old who just like reported someone to the
I
teacher.
said you.
I
Oh,
said so. No, like reported like so it's like that guy hit like little Billy hit me in the arm, and teacher's like, and the Billy's like, no, I didn't. Teacher's like, did you? And Billy's like, yeah, maybe. And the kid's like, I said so. Anyway,
and then in response to Missouri losing, Texas A&M moved up 10 spots. So,
yeah, I don't really know how to kind of gauge Texas A&M because like I'm pretty sure they're good, but like also that Notre Dame game at the beginning of the season was kind of awful, and like they didn't play great against Bowling Green, so like, uh,
they're like another one of the hard parts of our schedule. So, um
you guys have a schedule from hell.
yeah, we do. Okay, I said this I'll probably say it again later, but I'm gonna say it now just to get out of the way. We realized at the Ole Miss game that like we play teams that have just like lost when they should have won right after, and then they come back with off of that loss to kick our ass. And we're doing it 2 weeks in a row now because Ole Miss lost against Kentucky and then came here and then walloped us. And next week we're going to Alabama and they're gonna destroy us.
I
Probably.
hope
I don't know if that's true. Um, but yeah, so that's really fun for South Carolina. Hopefully, Oklahoma has a good week, or else like
they
the
play
week after
Texas.
Alabama. Oh no.
And that's just South Carolina's gimmick this year. Is
They're gonna why?
they just keep going up against teams that are coming off of like soul crushing losses.
They're just like, I'm gonna like kill whoever's next, and it's us. Ugh. And then we play
Um,
Texas A&M. So
fun. Anyway, ranked games.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Friday once again was insane. The Michigan's except for Michigan State, Oregon. That game was it was fine. Nothing really, nothing. Oh yeah, you want to say it, Riley?
Is it my turn? I did the
Sure.
intro. I feel like you should say it.
Who cares?
Lord. Very nice. That was beautiful.
I got real up close and personal with the mic there.
Um,
I
and
got
then we have
like
the game.
English, like the Euros. We can't do that
The
because now we're on
let me see
video.
the
Because what if
mic.
they
Ooh.
what? I'm screenshotting that. I'm going back into our video and I'm screenshotting you going.
Ooh. I
"Huh,
did that once at the end of an
huh,
episode because like we were recording, but like there's no
huh,
video, and I just kind of like bit my mic, and only you
huh."
saw it. But now I can't do that anymore. Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
Syracuse UNLV had a hell of a game where Syracuse came out on top 44 to 41 in overtime.
Oh,
And
did we even talk about UNLV, Louisville, and USC dropping from the rankings?
we did not.
That's what's wrong with us. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways,
Anyway,
this is the
UNLV
game
dropped
that
out of the
caused that.
rankings. Hey, look at us. We're on the same page because of this game. Um,
Yeah.
so after Georgia Tech lost to Syracuse, I made a joke about Kyle McCord not being as good as people said he was, which is another take that aged poorly. But also, this time I'm going to cry wolf and say that the only reason that that aged really poorly was because I was only doing it to crap on Georgia Tech.
Okay. I'm gonna take that because I know that you do crap on Georgia Tech a lot for no reason. Well, there is a reason. It's because of
It's because
guest,
guest,
but it's
who
because guest.
can we announce the guest related news?
Has it been? Has it
It
been?
has been
Uh,
confirmed.
guest is actually. Oh, y'all.
For
That's
rivalry
great.
week, guest will be joining us in some
As a
capacity,
guest.
whether it be for the whole episode or just to talk about the Georgia Tech game. I hope it's for the whole episode because that would be funny. Guest doesn't really watch college football. Guest
They
is
just
just
sit in
good friends.
silence
Guest is
the
just good
rest of
friends
the.
with Riley and my girlfriend. So it would still be funny. Anyway, that's confirmed. Guest for rivalry week.
Very nice.
Very nice. Um, yeah, Syracuse UNLV was a fun game. Friday nights have just been insane for the last 4 weeks. There's been at least one overtime or insane game for the last 4 weeks. So good job, college football. Way to always stay cool.
Way to
Stay
be.
cool. Despite super conferences and all that BS, college football still manages to be good. Anyway, um, Ohio State beat ranked games for Saturday. Ohio State beat Iowa 35-7.
Who cares?
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a
Thank
solid.
you.
That was a solid 9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Um, next game, Arkansas beat Tennessee 19-14. Hold the L, Tennessee. I know I can't do much talking, but nevertheless, hold that L. It's always great to see Tennessee choke. Okay, did you watch the final play of this game?
No, I couldn't.
So Iamaliava is there. So Tennessee's on Arkansas's 18-yard line, and this is the last play. Iamaliava gets rushed out of the pocket, and he just kind of runs, and but it's like he's jogging because he's like, oh, I have to pass the ball, and he passed the line of scrimmage, and kind of ran out of bounds. But by that point, the clock had been at zero for 2 or 3 seconds. So, um, yikes, Iamaliava, I think is how you pronounce his name. Um, that makes me less worried about the Alabama Tennessee game. Still worried though, because it's in Tennessee, so I think we're probably going to lose that. But nevertheless,
Good luck to you.
yeah, really, that was a bad loss. Also, especially because Arkansas was on their backup quarterback on the drive where they scored the touchdown to win the game. So,
Good
yep,
lord.
and you know what? Their backup quarterback did not a lot except for score the winning touchdown, but Tennessee kind of let him score. It was actually their running back that accounted for 45 of the 50 yards on that drive. Like their run game was pretty nice. Um, I guess also the big news from this game was I think Squirrel White went down with an injury, which is bad for Tennessee because he's their best receiver. Um, so yeah, that was a bad one for Tennessee. That was an awful loss. Anyway, next game,
We got Georgia beating Auburn 31-13.
they didn't look great. They slow started again. That's that's the big thing
That's
with
their
Georgia this year.
trend.
They have not
Yeah.
played a beginning of a game good this whole year.
I mean, but neither did Auburn for this game, so it worked out for them.
But
But
Auburn plays slow for the whole game. That's not fair because Auburn plays like that the whole game. Georgia just plays like that for 2 quarters, and then they lock in. Anyway, I
next
feel like
week
we
or
talked
last
too
week.
much about this game for this to be a who cares game.
I mean, it's not really a who cares.
It was boring.
but
Just
it's
nothing
also
happened.
it's like a it's like a who cares, but it's not like the classic sense of a who cares, but it is like I don't really like
It
it's
was
okay.
boring. Like it was not a fun game to watch. Like nothing happened. I was more interested in the Indiana game. Like I don't know. It was just kind of boring. Um, Next, Penn State beat UCLA 27-11. Who cares?
Jesus, I wasn't expecting it. Okay,
And then
Miami,
Miami,
what the heck?
what the hell is going on? Okay, petition to start naming them the Cardiac Canes
Cardiac canes. People call us
because
the cardiac cocks,
people call us the Cardiac Tide sometimes.
but that doesn't hit the same.
Cardiac
No
Cox,
alliteration.
Cardiac Cox is very funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of cock puns.
Yeah, you guys
A
kind of ran.
lot.
You guys kind of did it to yourself.
No, we do. It's like fully. It's
What
on the
was
merch.
what was the name that we were wishing for last year when they were doing that like fan name contest thing? And there was
Oh,
one that two of us really wanted and it didn't
it was
happen. Was it
something
like
like fantastic.
General General Cock or something like that?
No, they wanted to name him the general. It's still Sir Bigspur. I see him every Saturday. I walk past him
It's a
many
cool
times.
mascot. It's a funny mascot. I like how big
And
his
then,
beak
like, if
is.
you walked past him, oh, Cocky? Are you talking about Cocky or the actual chicken? Because
Oh,
we
I
have an
thought that was to
actual,
name Cocky.
they, no, it wasn't to name Cocky. It was to rename Sir Bigspur, who's like
The
the actual
actual the
chicken.
actual chicken.
The
You guys
actual
have a
chicken.
live mascot?
Yeah, it's like Uga.
But cooler because it's not Uga. Because Uga's like
So he
inbred.
stands, he's, st- he's,
It is. You
I
cannot
say
tell me that that
bulldogs are
dog
just like
isn't inbred.
aren't bulldogs? That's just how they are as a
No,
species.
bulldog. I think Uga is like specifically incredibly inbred.
That's terrible. I feel bad
Poor.
for that dog.
Not only does
Almost got
Uga.
killed by the
No,
Texas mascot a
no, that
couple
one's
years
dead.
ago. I know that one's dead. They're on like their 12th one, which is so
That's how it.
sad.
Okay, imagine one, you're born. Two, you're inbred. Three, you're a Georgia fan. Okay, hold on. Let me rank that by like worst to like less least worst. Okay, worst thing, Georgia fan. Second worst thing, being inbred. Then being born.
Jesus Christ. This is terrible. Poor Uga.
Poor
Anyways,
Uga. It's
Sir
okay.
Big
It's not.
Spur.
It's not even that like ugly of a dog. It's just kind of like okay. Mississippi State's bulldog is cuter.
Okay, but like bulldogs, just like as a species, are flawed animals because of like
They're
the
not
way their
designed
mouth.
correctly.
They literally like are designed so that they can't breathe half the time,
They're
and I feel
designed so
so
that they
bad
die
for
in
them.
like 3 years.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. It's not Uga's fault that he's inbred and can't
I don't
breathe.
think I've ever seen them. Ew. Sorry.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at a drawn out logo for Mississippi State where the bulldog is like actually kind of horrendous looking. It's like a
Anyway,
throwback logo.
I think okay, hold let's segue. What do you think is the best live mascot?
It's Sir Big Spur.
That's bias.
Yes, it is. But what I was gonna say is he sits on a little perch the whole game in front of the student section, and he has a little fan, his own personal fan that they clip to his perch, and I think
Do you
it's
know
hilarious.
Uga's doghouse is air conditioned?
I mean, of course it's hot.
But like still, that's cool. He gets his own little crib.
They
Uga
treat him
crib.
right
Uga
before he
crib.
dies.
Oh, don't say that.
You were the one ducking literally for
I never said I
years.
wanted the Uga to die.
No, we don't want Uga to die.
We
We
don't
just
want
feel
Uga to
bad.
die. We
I
feel
just feel
bad
bad
for
for
Uga
him.
because Uga's inbred and can't breathe because of his flawed genetics because it's a
It's
bulldog.
so sad.
It's so sad. Have you seen those little like small like hairy bulldogs that like they sound like they're like wheezing?
Most bulldogs sound like they're wheezing and they're small and hairy.
Hello, Riley's roommate. Welcome to the pod.
Hi.
I hope they're okay with being on video.
Oh yeah. This is recorded. Just thought I'd let y'all know. um,
No technical difficulties. Everything's perfect. Kings of college football return. This episode's been flawless. We won't talk about the my audio not working at the beginning. The fact that I might or might not have accidentally pressed stop midway through this recording.
he did.
Um, no, I didn't. Um, People walking in shots. Me wanting to take shots after the Alabama game. Uh,
Oh,
just kidding. Just kidding. That's a joke. I'm underage. I can't drink. I didn't drink.
don't do
I
that.
was perfectly okay after the Alabama game. I didn't have any alcohol. I just had depression. Just straight depression.
Good times.
Anyway, what
Very
I think the
healthy.
best live mascot is the Colorado Buffalo
Colorado Buffalo.
because it's cool. They have
Sometimes
a
I'm
live
like, you
buffalo.
shouldn't see what I was about to say is sometimes you shouldn't have a live mascot.
Okay, what if Alabama had a live mascot?
An elephant?
We just had a massive elephant.
That'd be cruel.
Like rode that thing out like Aladdin.
Can I? You've heard of P.T. Barnum,
I've heard the name.
the circus man who got
From
in
The Greatest
trouble?
Showman?
Yes, the circus man from The Greatest Showman. He got, or it's, I guess it wasn't technically his fault, but like they made him stop using, well, he's dead, but they made the organization stop using live elephants in their
Who do you
performance because
think
it
is
was
hotter?
inhumane.
Who do you think's hotter? Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman?
Okay, I
Hugh
genuinely have to think about this.
Huge Ackman. For
Yeah.
me, I think it's huge Ackman.
Yeah, it's Hugh. Sorry, Ryan, but
Sorry.
it's Hugh. I don't like men. So, um,
Obviously, I know that, but you've also told me before you think some men are hot, so I think it's
this is
okay to
true.
ask that question. Charles
And
Leclerc?
Hugh Jackman's one of them. I would say that Hugh Jackman's pretty hot. Charles Leclerc is
Charles
above all
Leclerc?
else.
Carlos
Charles
Sainz?
Leclerc and Carlos Sainz are above all else. They're
Lewis
like gods.
Hamilton?
I mean, yeah,
Alex
but he's not.
Albon?
Yeah. Pedro
Jesus
Pascal.
Christ, football.
We haven't talked about football for a hot
We haven't
second.
even talked about probably like the best game of the week, which was Miami
Okay.
versus Cal.
We started talking about Miami versus
So
Cal,
at
which
one
is
point,
for
Cal was
some
winning
reason
this
how
game
we
38 to 18 in the fourth quarter and lost 39 to 38. Okay, Cal, few things. One, how do you choke? Two, kind of got screwed by the refs because there was a targeting thing that wasn't called. Miami is so lucky. In a just world, Miami is 4-2 right now, I think.
but they're not.
But they're
They're
not
six and
because the refs are favoring them. Because the refs are making sure they get all the calls so they can make the
like the
playoffs.
Chiefs.
They're like the Chiefs. Did you see last night?
I
You
stopped
know,
watching at
like
halftime.
the Manning cast.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say the Chiefs Saints
No,
game.
like the Manning cast. I didn't watch it, but I
Yeah.
apparently heard a clip. Apparently, Bill Belichick made a joke about like, yeah, they really need to stop showing Taylor Swift this much.
She's at every single game, which I'm like, she's very supportive, but
Show her,
also,
but not as much as you show her. Like I feel like it's chill to show her like two or three times a game, but they show her like 10 times a game. So
they kind
like
of show. I'm not gonna be on here like one of those men who's like Taylor Swift is ruining football.
it's ruining football, and I remember the woman in the football. I just think you should focus more on the football. Not, my issue isn't with Taylor Swift. My issue is just people like nowadays. There's too much focus on celebrities and not like actual football. Like
Yeah.
it'll happen. Like
No,
it'll
the
be.
issue isn't with Taylor Swift. It's just like, can we leave her alone? Maybe I don't think
It's
she would
also
like
like
to be shown this much.
it's also like ESPN posting about her, where it's like you know you're doing this to yourselves. Like every time they post about it, they're posting about her because all the people comment on the posts telling ESPN to stop posting about them, which is engagement, which is what they want.
Yeah, entirely.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. I don't know. I don't watch the
Anyway,
NFL because every time I start watching the NFL, I'm reminded by I shouldn't because I started with the Chiefs game last night and then it was like so and so is back from like after having like assault charges and I was like, okay, never mind. Like these people suck.
yeah, that's why I got banned from watching the NFL for like 2 years until
Yeah,
I
that's
just,
why I
did it
don't.
enough to where my parents just stopped caring.
Yeah, that's why I don't because I'm like these people are kind
But
of the
we're not here to
worst.
talk about the issues with the NFL. We're here to talk about the better form of football, college football.
The one that
And
matters.
the next game, which was Texas A&M beating Missouri 41-10. Um, Missouri? So when I call Missouri frauds, I kind of did it as a joke, but
That was one take that was correct.
that might be one of the worst performances I've seen a top 10 team put on. Like I think Bama's performance is better than that because at least we almost won.
Yeah, you only
Like
lost by 5.
at least we had a
They only scored
chance.
points in the second half.
At least we weren't down 24 to nothing at halftime. We were only down 23-14 at halftime. But
Granted,
then we came
never
back
mind.
and we're like, we were almost like we were down by two for a majority of the second half. So at least we put on a better performance than they did.
Yeah, this is bad. This is no.
This is a loss that you don't recover from in this
This
season.
makes me more worried. Our Texas A&M is our homecoming this year.
I don't
Who?
know how to gauge A&M.
Why? But it's not gonna be good for us. If they have a soul crushing loss the week, who do they play the week before they play us? I swear to
What
God,
what week did they play you guys?
they play us in week. What week is this? Is week
Oh, they play
6.
LSU.
What the heck?
That's a home game as well. Imagine if they lose a home game to LSU.
Our schedule is only designed to see us fail. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Who
this
does
was an
Vandy
awful
play before we play? Hold on. Week 6, 7, 8, 10. We play Vandy week 11.
Vandy before you guys plays at Auburn.
Okay.
That's not that
That
bad.
could that could go either way.
Anyway, yeah, Missouri, that was embarrassing. I honestly didn't even think Missouri deserved to be ranked at the end of this week. Like that's how bad that performance was by them.
They only fell. Oh, they fell 12.
They fell
Yeah.
12. No, they fell like 14, right? Aren't they like 24th
They
now?
fell 12.
Oh,
They're 21st.
jeez. Anyway,
Sucks.
um, in the next of top 10 teams losing, Washington got revenge for the national championship last year by beating Michigan 27-17 at home. Um, Michigan's offense once again looked non-existent. Alex Orgy is really bad at this whole quarterback thing. Like he can't really throw a football, and
Dang.
like he kind of needs to do that. He's like really good at
Really?
rushing. Um,
They just need to get. Do they have a good backup QB? Do they have a backup QB who can
nope.
pass?
Well,
Okay.
they put Jack Tuttle in, who I think is their third string quarterback,
Good Lord.
and he had what he went 10 for 18 for 98 yards, one touchdown and one interception, which is still not great.
It's not great, but it's not horrendous.
Nope. Um,
Um,
yeah, just bad from Michigan. Really happy for me though, given that Michigan's gonna have to play Indiana soon, and I legitimately think that we're gonna win that game.
who's your
Um,
first? I was like low key. I was looking at our two schedules. You only play like two ranked people, right?
we play Michigan and Ohio State. I think are the only two ranked teams on our schedule right now.
Yeah. I was comparing our two schedules, like, because you go to Indiana, and like, I was
No
like
way.
really mad because I was like, Nate just gets to live in all this happiness. Meanwhile, we're over here playing like
Okay, but
six,
we're
seven. We play
legitimate,
7 ranked teams this
but
year.
we're legitimately good, and you guys aren't.
I mean,
That's the
we are
difference.
sometimes.
We're 18th in the country, and we're 6-0. Anyway, um, keeping up the trend with Big Ten upsets. Randomly out
USC.
of nowhere, Minnesota beat number 11 USC. Huh? I didn't watch a single
Yeah,
second of this game, and I just
because
saw
no one
like
calls that.
because I out of all the games on that slot, I think the bottom of that list of games that I wanted to watch was USC versus Minnesota. So I didn't watch a dang second of this, and I just saw my phone and was like, "Oh my God, Minnesota won!" Like, come on, USC, how? They literally just beat Wisconsin by like 30 last week, and then this week they lost to Minnesota. What? What?
What?
What?
The
What?
fake USC.
What?
Anyways,
Anyways, um, Clemson, Florida State. I I didn't watch it. At least Florida State looked slightly better with a new quarterback.
yeah, I was about
That's
to
all
say
I can
like
say.
I thought that they were about to get like
Curb stomped.
smacked, but they weren't. I mean,
I
they
think
kind of were.
Clemson's. I think Clemson's legitimately good. I think Cade Klubnik is a lot better than people gave him credit for.
Yeah.
And then,
Yay.
yay, Iowa State Baylor. Who cares? This is who?
What? Is it your turn?
It's your
Oh,
turn.
it's my turn.
Oh my
Who
God.
cares?
Oh Jesus Christ.
Leave me be. Um,
Boise State beat Utah State 62 to 30. Um, and Ashton Genty had 13 carries for 186 yards and 3 touchdowns, and all of it was in the first half.
good
Give him,
Lord.
give him the Heisman. Give him the like. Okay, you want to hear a fun stat, Riley? Out of the
Sure.
last two Heisman winners that were running backs, which were Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram, which roll tide. Out of the last two running back Heisman winners, Ashton Genty has doubled their total yards at this point in the season and has doubled the touchdowns that they had at this point in the season.
Good Lord. So
Give
yeah,
him the Heisman.
he would deserve it.
And then, I mean, you
Keeping
have
with
anything to say?
no. I was just
And
gonna say
then,
keeping with the upsets.
yeah, SMU beat Louisville 34 to 27. This was a really fun game. This is the game I watched in the noon slot. This was fun. This was just like back
Should
and forth the
SMU
whole
be
game.
ranked right now?
Yes. Oh no, they are ranked.
I know they are. I was
Yeah,
just
they
saying
should be
because we
25th.
always talk about how it's stupid whenever like a team beats a ranked team and then they immediately get ranked and then it's like why? But
This felt okay. This felt like the right decision. I mean, SMU's good. They're 5-1. Like, great intro to the ACC for them. And that was the ranked games.
wait, hold on.
Um,
In non-ranked games, because Pittsburgh is ranked now.
true.
Pittsburgh's
Pitt's
22nd.
undefeated.
Yeah, because they're 5
And
and
you,
0.
you know who's also undefeated? Both of
If
the
you said
service
Indiana, I'm
academy,
gonna kill you.
also Indiana.
Okay.
Both of the service academies, which okay, walk with me for a second. What if
Navy.
we get an Army Navy undefeated game? Like, and I think the thing is, it's gonna be so weird because I think they're probably will already decide the playoffs by the time that game is done. But like, those are two teams fighting for that group of five slot, and they're undefeated.
Although
Anyway,
coming up, Navy plays Notre Dame.
yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? I want Navy to win. That would be really funny.
Who does Army
Anyway,
play this year?
do you want to talk about our teams?
I'll
Can we
be
get the good out of the
fast.
way first?
Well, shouldn't you do
Shouldn't we do like
back back
one
to
of
good?
mine, one of yours, one of mine?
So like good, bad, bad, or bad, bad, good?
We can do good, bad, bad.
Good, bad, bad. Okay, go.
Indiana's 6-0, baby. We're going bowling. Woo! Hell yeah. Oh my God. When I came here, I never thought this was going to happen in the first year, but Coach Sig's making me believe. He's filling me with belief in this football team, and I think the sky's the limit for them. They can win 11 games this regular season. They can maybe beat Ohio State, but probably not. And they can maybe make the playoffs. I think there's a legitimate chance this Indiana team makes the playoffs. They are currently listed as having a 52% chance, which is like the eighth highest out of all the teams in college football right now, which is insane. Um, they looked great. 41-24. I would have liked to see the defense play a little better, especially against a kind of anemic Northwestern offense. Run defense wasn't great, but who cares? We won. We're 6-0. Offense looked incredible. Defense, they can improve. I'm putting it down to the fact we had 6 weeks in a row and we finally get a bye week. Like the bye week that this team has been like craving. Like that you could tell they needed one. Um, but yeah, let's go, baby. We're 6-0. We're going bowling. Let's go. Yay. Yay. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Woo. Let's go. I'm so happy. Let's not talk about my other team so I can keep being happy.
We have to.
No.
I'm not the only one who gets to live in misery.
I already
Um,
lived in misery.
yeah, and I do every week. Um,
Real.
South Carolina lost. 27-3. We didn't get a single touchdown. Um, Lenore Sellers is back. However, he doesn't want to pass, which is great. We ran the ball a lot, especially in the first half, which did not go well for us, obviously. Um, our O-line didn't look great in the first half. Yeah. What I will say is the second half we did look a lot better. We just never got the momentum going. Our defense really carried this game because um, we didn't have Ole Miss didn't score like in the whole second half. We looked a lot better, and especially our defense because like Ole Miss only got a field goal in the second half because our defense is carrying. Um, we also have to deal with a very annoying and pretty dirty strategy that is Ole Miss um faking and falling every time an offense is doing well against them. Legitimately, like one that they're trying to get checked out was when I think it was like 80, it was 80 something on Ole Miss. Like literally, no one's around him. He looks around and then he just sat down. So, um, the amount of injury timeouts they had was a little annoying, and it was the most frustrating thing to watch because it's like every time.
They
But
were doing that
we
against
didn't.
Kentucky as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's annoying. It's dirty and it's just
Yeah,
so fleazy. Um,
agreed.
but yeah, we just gotta shape up, really. Also, some penalties called on us that are like, what are y'all thinking? Like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that would have like had it not been called, it would have been a great play of like a celebration of him like pretending to like go like this and like shoot somebody. And I was like, what? What were you thinking? That was totally gonna get okay, anyway. So yeah, we just kind of gotta shape up a little bit. Um, I don't know. O-line's got to put the work in, make Sellers feel like he can actually throw. But yeah, we just gotta shape up. And next week will probably be rough. I'm not gonna lie, because Alabama's gonna be mad. And tell us why, Nate.
Because Alabama lost to Vanderbilt 40-35. So, let me get the good out of the way first. Because believe it or not, there is some. Ryan Williams is still the truth and is still the best freshman wide receiver in the country, better than Jeremiah Smith. Um, and that's it. Let me go through the bads. Undisciplined. The amount of penalties called on Alabama that gave Vandy automatic first downs was ridiculous. It was pathetic. Two, Kane Womack got outcoached, got rings ran around him. That was one of the worst defensive schemes I have ever seen. and Vandy were able to do whatever they wanted in the run game, which meant they were able to do whatever they wanted in the pass game because it opened up for them. Because Kane Womack is an idiot. Three, undisciplined, which goes with the flags, but I'm exclusively talking to Malachi Moore. And I know he had an apology. He posted one, but he showed his ass against Vanderbilt. Not literally, but
Yes, I know the expression.
just throwing his mouthpiece. It was bad. He's a captain. He needs to do better. I thought Milrow was fine, broadly fine. The pick six wasn't his fault. It was a tip drill that he got unlucky on. Other than that, he played fine. His timing was a little off, um, but I thought he was 6 out of 10. Wasn't happy with Nick Sheridan's play calling. Too many times where we would just go run, run, pass and go three and out because it's predictable. So of course we did. Um, uh, a great point my dad made to me that Alabama hasn't made a meaningful stop since the second half of the Georgia game on defense. Like they haven't gotten off the field since the second half of the Georgia game. Like Vandy was something like 12 for 16 on third down. That's ridiculous. That's pathetic. The whole thing was pathetic. It was such an embarrassing excuse of a football game, and I've never been more embarrassed to be an Alabama fan than I did after that game was over because we lost to Vanderbilt. Nerds. They're good, but they shouldn't be beating us. We shouldn't be having that many struggles with Diego Pavia, but we did. And you know what sucks is we had one gimme, and that was we would lose to Georgia, that would be fine. And then we could maybe lose to Tennessee, and that would also be fine. But two losses to Georgia and Tennessee would probably still have gotten us into the playoffs because they both would have been top 10 teams. Now, if we lose to Tennessee, it's DEFCON because who knows if we're going to get put back into the playoffs with losses to Vandy. It's embarrassing. It's awful. I have never been more disappointed after an Alabama game as an Alabama fan. This is the lowest low I think I've ever experienced, maybe except for losing in the national championship the few times that that's happened to us. But it was just bad. It was, and credit to Vandy. They outcoached us. They outplayed us. They deserved to win. The better team won. Um, but it's embarrassing. They need to do some soul searching this week. And if they play like that, they're going to lose to South Carolina. And so it's like South Carolina is hobbled, but what's your quarterback's name again?
Lenore Sellers.
Lenore Sellers is just Diego Pavia light. Like he can do what Pavia does, and so it's like they play like that against South Carolina, they're going to lose, and then we're going to get eliminated from the playoffs. So it's put up or shut up. They got to win the rest of the games on their schedule, I think, to make the playoffs, given how things will turn for them. But yeah, this was embarrassing. They deserve to be dropped 7 places. They made a whole thing this week about oh yeah, don't eat the rat poison. They did. They ate it. They lost to Vandy, and now we're stuck. Ugh. Ugh. God. Embarrassing. I'm done.
Good times.
Not for me
Um,
or you.
as much as much as I appreciate our friendship, and I don't want college football to come in between us, there's nothing I would like more than beat Alabama next week.
If we lose to South
Um,
Carolina, I legitimately think I'm going to go on the biggest rant that this podcast has ever seen.
if
That
we play well and win against y'all, uh, I'm gonna be so happy.
I'm legitimately not coming on the podcast if we lose South Carolina.
I am. I'll do it all by myself, and I'll be like, well, this. Yeah,
Okay, solo podcast.
yeah. That's how some people do it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Do we
really
want to look?
boring.
Do we want to look at the next week so we can stop talking about Alabama losing?
Sure. There's a game live right now.
There is a game live right now, but it's Liberty, and so
Yeah, I don't
F
really care.
Liberty.
And there's one tomorrow, so I don't know.
But we only look at ranked games. Um, Kind of sneaky. I feel like Utah Arizona State could be pretty fun. That's the 10:30 Friday night game. Um, Obviously you got the Red Zone Bowl. Next week is insane, by the way.
Noon.
Yeah, I don't even know how much of it I'm going to be able to watch because I'm going to be back in Atlanta on Saturday, and so I'm going to be hanging out with guest, and I don't know how much of the game I'm going to be able to watch. But if I don't
I
watch it
gotta find a
live, I
good
will watch
place
it
to
tape
watch it.
delayed. If I watch it while we're on a date, she's going to kill me. So
Don't do that.
I know that's why I said I wasn't.
Okay, okay,
I That's
good.
why I said that I'm going to have a hard time trying to watch the whole game.
Okay.
Yeah, calm
Do you
down.
want me to like, are you gonna like check the, if you can't watch the whole game,
I
are you
will
gonna check
I'll
the
be checking the
score or are
scores.
you
Yeah.
gonna like,
You can live
okay.
text me.
Because I was
Anyway,
gonna be, I was gonna be like, are you
red
gonna be like, don't spoil it?
yeah. Week 12, week 6, or week 7. We also have Red River rivalry, which is always fun. Penn State at USC, which should be pretty fun. Cal at Pitt is like an underrated game that could be pretty fun. Um,
Dear
Florida
God,
at
Oklahoma, please
Tennessee.
win.
Huh?
I said, dear God, Oklahoma, please win so that we don't have a rough week 8.
And then the real game is Ohio State at Oregon, which is an incredible game. Number 2 at number 3.
7
Um,
p.m.
7:30 p.m. kickoff on NBC. And then Ole Miss at LSU, which is also a great game. This is the game. This is the like the week that everyone's had circled since the schedule came out. Because like this week is insane. Like this looks like so much a fun week.
Okay,
And then like
nice.
Kansas State at Colorado should be pretty fun. Um, so yeah, week 12 looks great. I mean week 12,
7
week 7. It's because it's on the 12th.
on the 12th.
Anyway, do we want to put this on the red zone gauge?
This
Let me
week
pull up my handy dandy phone, which I know is slightly unprofessional, but uh,
is
here
week
we go.
4 second place right now.
Week 4 is third place.
What's second place?
Week 1. Week 1 was an 8 out of 10. Okay. Was this better than week 2?
No.
Do we give it a 9? Because it was better than week 1.
I would give this a second place. Whatever second place is.
So
9.
we'll give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Is week 2 10 out of 10? Or did we give it like
Yeah,
a
week 2 is a
9
10 out of
point?
10.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't have anything else. Let's hope the Red
I don't
Zone Bowl
either.
goes well. I wish you luck.
I might cry. This is why I said like a no trash talk until after the game.
Hmm.
So we have to stick to it. And if I start getting cocky, haha, um, tell me to shut the fuck up.
Will do.
Anyways, I said
Shut
a
the
bad
what
word.
up?
Shut the heck up. Can you bleep things in on
I don't feel like bleeping things, so no.
Okay. I mean, we've said worse things.
We've cussed on this podcast before. I called a
Yeah,
dog inbred today, so
we tried we tried not to at
for
the
the whole
beginning,
first
but
season we were good, and then season
yeah,
2 happened and we lost the rails. But we're college
yeah.
kids now, so it's fine.
We're adults now.
But do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, as always, I've been Nate Cohen,
Riley Davis.
and that was the Red Zone Podcast.